We have the arrival of the Sky Striker Deluxe Edition and quite a few little buyouts today. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So I was kind of just scrolling around here out of curiosity. You know, how much are these deluxe Sky Strike boxes go for? $462 is very unrealistic. When you come down here, we can start to kind of paint the picture on these individual listings. So this is going to be for both of the promo cards, and my God, these are gorgeous, man. Seeing how both of these look, you get a wide range of the photos here, but these are coming at about $95 for both. As a collector, I don't really think that's too bad, but you're gonna have to kind of rummage through the Sky Striker slots to look for the individual boxes themselves. The sleeves are $11 a piece, which I don't think is terrible at all. You can get the pins and so forth for about $10. There's a lot of little things. I know the dual field boxes themselves were populating on listings here, 132, 130, but those are, I've seen cheaper listings, 151. Yeah, that's up there for what these are. See, now this is a listing here where you can get like the supply set itself. This gets you, looks like the magnetic holder, the sleeves, and the dual field itself for probably a much decent price point, honestly, for, you know, $33, which is not terrible, honestly. It's all just about like collectability and things like that you think are going to be nice little collector's items. And honestly, just looking at the Sky Striker stuff as a whole, if it's something that you want to collect for fun, they're definitely available. So something to look into. All right, so we just got Duel Links support for this, and I guess the analysis here is that support was enough to make people want to buy out Sera? Question mark? I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this one, if you want my honest opinion. I think that this is just one of those really weird things that I guess we have to consider, right? Because as we said in every video on Market Watch, there's always going to be some quarter-century card that's just going to poof off of the market with no real explanation. Well, we're trying to explain this through the lens of looking at Duel Links, or, you know, a platform that just got support that clearly is making people go, oh my gosh, you know, I want to play this. All of these were, I mean, the $7 versions were actually in like the last 48 hours. So that's actually interesting, but it's just, you've actually had $14 copies actually moving. You have one listing here with a photo that is about to disappear, and this will be the last one before you cross the line into a permanent $50 price point, which is ridiculous, honestly. I get that Sera is the card that makes Traptrix basically fully playable, because, you know, it's the link one. It adds all the additional text. It gives you every other, you know, piece of info that you need, but that's interesting. Light Pulsar Dragon. Do you guys remember when, you know, this was another version of a QCR that was incredibly cheap in price? Yeah, I remember. Well, evidently we're back in it again. Seeing a $20 card from, you know, I love the market prices, like, oh yeah, it's $7. Don't worry, guys. The crazy part is you had a $7 copy to sell on the 21st, 14, and then you had some $20 one sell on the 7th, which I'm kind of curious to know why this sold for that much on the 7th. But painting the picture here, once again, this has to be for older formats, right? Because this, and I think it was Dark Flare Dragon. Did Dark Flare get one too? Wow. I don't think... Wow, they didn't even pump up my boy Dark Flare. They just did Light Pulsar. All right, well, the more you know, I guess. Older formats surely has to be the reason. Dimensional Prison. So if you are an avid older format player, you guys understand the absolute pain that this card just presents to you, right? Like, you need multiple copies of these to be able to perform. And, you know, they're ridiculous in price now. Dimensional Prisons, there were a time, and this is crazy to think about. These were like sub 50 cents for like every single copy. You can get quarter centuries for $58, which is already up there. I see $17 market price, $16 market price. Plats are 13. Market price 12, and then you've got the maximum gold versions coming in at 10s. Even the OTS commons are basically 10s. The only one that's kind of questionable here is like the Dimensional Prison from Machina Mayhem, which is $9. All right, and then Cyber Dragon Revolution ones are about 10 as well. Isn't that just crazy to think about? And once again, I mean, like, this is a card that so many other older format people are looking at and going, well, I need copies of these if I want to play Edison and so forth. Yeah, crazy times. Oh boy, really? Shadow or Light Imprisoning Mirrors? So the mirrors are always going to be an interesting topic of conversation when you're looking back at the older formats, right? Because these cards, they're very, very good at negating blanket effects. Thank you. They're basically skill drain, but they seal off everything on the field and in the graveyard. Removed from game in hand, they don't actually affect, which is interesting. But the mirrors, honestly, we've not really had any application for the meta for these in a while. Your last sale was actually yesterday at $20 a copy, which I don't feel like is a terrible thing to see. But you've also got to remember, you have so many alternatives for Light Imprisoning Mirror that you can pick up. You have, you know, the Turbo Pack 2 version. You have the Magnificent Monsters Ultras, which are, keep in mind, you got a light play right there for 99 cents. There's also, I believe, Duelist League versions of these as well. So, you know, while the top end is looking top-endy, that's crazy. Destiny Era Plasmas. So this is something that we track every once in a while, because I'm always curious to see, you know, one, it's a very playable tin promo card from way back in the day, but also it's almost 20 years old at this point. So, you know, having what is considered a near mint copy of this card in today's day and age is what I would consider a little bit crazy to think about. But for the near mint copies of these that do pop up on the market, you're at $35 to $40 basically, which is just this little copies here. These last four are the last ones before you hit $100, and somebody's holding the line at 50 of these at $100 piece. I wonder how many times they actually get sales, or how many sales they think they're going to get at $100 a copy. Now, you know, realistically, you've actually had a $40 sale in the last couple of days. So that's something to think about here. You know, as we go back through the corridor of time, we get to see, you know, just odd things like this doing its job. Effect Veiler First Eds. Somebody did a backtrack through here and picked up like all of the near mint First Eds that were underneath $300 very recently, which I'll be honest with you, there wasn't very many of them in existence, because honestly, this is a card that I would probably consider as more light play than anything. Yeah. Looking at your light play First Eds, they're basically about $200 a copy. But you got to remember, you're dealing with old school Ultimate Rares, man. Like, these old school Ultimate Rares, definitely, they look nice, they're good, but my God, the quality on them, they are super flimsy. It's like why I know a lot of people, like, they still love this card, but they're so flimsy for the quality. Tour Guides, Ultimate Rares. Oh boy, you know, looking back at Ultimate Rares for these and seeing how expensive these have gotten over the years is crazy to think about, man. You've got $300 basically. You can get a Korean Starlight Rare, by the way, for 100 Quatlus. I'm not spending that much money, but $300 on up to $400 is kind of crazy. The fact that we have the listing here with multiple of them. Now, you've only had your highest sale hitting the $200 mark. I feel like this is just going to be one of those things as time kind of erodes away, that you're just going to see more and more people go, wow, you know, I need to pick these up. Yeah, I guess. You've got the quarter centuries too. Like, I don't really feel like this is a top priority when it comes to, you know, wanting to pick these up. But okay. Also, fun fact, the old Asian English copies. This is something you'll see every once in a while. So this is Asian English. It has the front in English, but the back is actually the Japanese card back. The fact that one of these is up for a $8,580 for an AGS grade is kind of crazy to think about. But this is the cool collectible stuff that we just get to see that's very, very, very rare in the current era. Also, Sleeve Chief has their sale up right now, 70%, and then my discount code MCO40 will actually stack on top of that, saving you a whole bunch more money on top of this. If you're looking for deck boxes, sleeves, you know, any of the whole cool things that they've got going on here, I would recommend coming and giving it a shot, you know, see what's going on with this, and then, you know, decide if you want to pick up anything. Discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons! Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.